Welcome to Wisdom Trek with Gramps. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, and we are on day 2413 of our trek. The purpose of Wisdom Trek is to create a legacy of wisdom, to seek out discernment and insights, and to boldly grow where few have chosen to grow before. In today's Wisdom Nugget, I'll guide you through the vast landscapes of biblical wisdom. Today we're delving into Psalm chapter 7, verses 1 through 5 from the New Living Translation. This psalm is a passionate prayer of David, expressing his plea for God's justice and deliverance in the face of false accusations and persecution. Let's explore these verses together and uncover the profound insights of our spiritual journey. Psalm chapter 7, verses 1 through 5. I come to you for protection, O Lord my God. Save me from my persecutors. Rescue me. If you don't, they will maul me like a lion, tearing me into pieces with no one to rescue me. O Lord my God, if I have done wrong, and if I am guilty of injustice, if I have betrayed a friend or plundered my enemies without cause, then let my enemies capture me. Let them trample me into the ground and drag my honor into the dust. Interlude. David begins the psalm with a desperate plea for protection. I come to you for protection, O Lord my God. Save me from my persecutors. Rescue me. In verse 1. In this opening verse, David seeks refuge in God, recognizing that only God can provide the protection and deliverance he desperately needs. David's use of, O Lord my God, signifies a personal relationship with God, highlighting his deep trust and reliance on Him. David's plea for rescue is urgent because he feels the imminent threat of his enemies. He understands that without God's intervention, his persecutors will maul me like a lion, tearing me into pieces with no one to rescue me, in verse 2. The vivid imagery of being mauled like a lion emphasizes the severity of the danger he faces and the utter helplessness without God's protection. These verses serve as a powerful reminder to seek God's protection in times of trouble. When we face threats or persecution, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, we can turn to God, our protector, and trust in His ability to rescue us from harm. David's example encourages us to cultivate the personal relationship with God, one that is rooted in trust and reliance on His strength and deliverance. In verses 3 through 5, David boldly declares his innocence. O Lord my God, if I have done wrong, or if I am guilty of injustice, if I have betrayed a friend or plundered an enemy without cause, then let my enemies capture me. Let them trample me into the ground and drag my honor in the dust. This declaration reflects David's confidence in his own integrity and his willingness to face the consequences if he is found guilty of wrongdoing. David addresses specific accusations: wrongdoing, injustice, betrayal, and plundering. By listing these potential sins, he is essentially opening himself up to God's scrutiny and judgment. He is willing to accept whatever consequences come his way if he is guilty. This level of transparency and accountability before God is a testament to David's character and his desire for righteousness. David's appeal is a plea for justice and declaration of his commitment to living a life that honors God. He is confident that he has not wronged others and that any accusations against him are baseless. This confidence allows him to boldly ask God to vindicate and protect him from his enemies. For us, David's example is a call to live with integrity and be willing to stand before God with a clear conscience. It encourages us to examine our lives, confess and repent any wrongdoing, and strive for righteousness. When we face false accusations or unjust persecutions, we can take comfort in knowing that our God is the ultimate judge and our defender. David's declaration of innocence and his plea for protection are rooted in his trust in God's justice. He knows God is a righteous judge, and He will vindicate the innocent and bring justice to the oppressed. This trust in God's justice allows David to confidently place his situation in God's hand and seek His intervention. For us, trusting in God's justice means believing He will right any wrongs that we face and defend us against false accusations and unjust persecution. It means relinquishing our desires for revenge and allowing God to be our defender and judge. This trust frees us from the burden of seeking justice and will enable us to rest in God's righteousness and fair judgment. As we reflect on Psalm chapter 7, verses 1 through 5, several key takeaways emerge that we can apply to our own lives. First, let us seek God's protection. In times of trouble and persecution, turn to God for protection and deliverance, trusting in His strength and the ability to rescue us from harm. Second, live with integrity. Strive to live a life that honors God and be willing to stand before Him with a clear conscience and accept accountability for our actions. Third, trust in God's justice. Believe in God's righteous judgment and trust that He will vindicate the innocent and bring justice to the oppressed. And fourth, cultivate a personal relationship with God. Develop a deep personal relationship with God rooted in trust and reliance on His protection and deliverance. Applying these lessons to our lives can transform our relationship with God and others. Seeking God's protection in times of trouble deepens our trust in His strength and deliverance. Living with integrity encourages us to strive for righteousness and to be willing to stand before God with a clear conscience. Trusting in God's justice frees us from the burden of seeking our revenge and allows us to rest in His righteous judgment. Cultivating a personal relationship with God helps us to develop a deep trust and reliance on Him, knowing He is our protector and defender. As we conclude our exploration of Psalm chapter 7, verses 1 through 5, let's carry these lessons with us on our journey. Seek God's protection, live with integrity, trust in His justice, and cultivate a personal relationship with Him. By doing so, we align ourselves with this psalm's timeless wisdom and navigate life's complexities with faith and assurance. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Wisdom Trek. May these insights of Psalm chapter 7 inspire and strengthen you to continue your trek through life. Until the next time, keep seeking God's wisdom, cherish each moment, and continue making a positive impact on the world around you. And if you found this podcast insightful, please subscribe and leave us a review. Then encourage your friends and family to join us and come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, and most importantly, I am your friend as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal. As we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and create a great day every day. See you next time for more daily wisdom.